Welcome back, everybody. We have just finished making our template out of our graphic layout, and you can see here I've got up top all of my pages are lined up, and one of the problems is that we can't edit them as they are right now. We need to do something to make this region something that we can start typing in, and you can see it won't even let me select this region on my index page. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually open up our template. If you go over to Assets, you'll see that this top button right here is Images, and as you scroll down, you'll see the second from the bottom is Templates. If you click on that, you'll see your template listed under here. Go ahead and just double click on that to open it up. You'll see it opens as a DWT, and that is exactly where we want it to be. Now, again, any changes we make to the template will apply to all of the different pages that we've made. So we want to be very careful about what we change and how we change it. All we want to do right now is make it so that this region here is something that we can type on these other pages. So I'm going to select it, and you'll see that this is actually an image. And if I were to try to type in here as it is, my image goes away. You can see that my border's gone, my shadow's gone, everything's just missing. And that's going to look really weird on a web page. So obviously we don't want to go that route. What we have to do is take this image, and instead of putting it in this table cell that Dreamweaver has made for it, we need to slide it in as the background for the table cell. To do this, we come down here and we check out this name, Graphical Layout RC or R3C1. We want to remember that, R3C1, because what we're going to do is click on our image and hit delete. And we're actually just going to take it right out of there. Next, why don't we center and top align our text so that your cursor is in here. And you can see that, again, this is now something we can type, but we still need to get that back. To make that happen, we're actually going to pop up into the split editor. And you can see the cursor here lines up with the cursor that it shows you here. And all we're going to do is take our cursor from here, click up in here to make that where we're editing. And I'm going to hit the arrow key over one just so I'm inside this bracket, and hit space. Now if you're not comfortable with code, no worries, Dreamweaver has a whole bunch of code hints to help you along. So you can see when I hit space, it brings up this whole list of options that I can select from. I'm going to go with background and hit enter. And then it offers me some code, it puts in the other objects I need, and gives me a chance to browse. So I'm going to choose browse, and now we just have to find where we put that image. If you've done this correctly, then you should have an images folder and then a layout bits folder, and when you open the layout bits folder, you'll see all of your files are listed out here. And we are looking for, if you remember the name, R3C1. Now if you don't remember the name, you'll see there's a little image preview over here, so you can just kind of click through until you get it right. And you'll see that what we're looking for is that white block with these lines on either side. So go ahead and select that one and hit OK. And you'll see that nothing changes down here. This is because Dreamweaver has a built-in failsafe to keep you from mucking around with the code and doing things you might not want. So we've made code changes, but nothing changes down here until we hit refresh. As soon as you hit refresh or press F5, you'll see that our image is back in here, but when we click in, now we can type, and we still have our borders over here. Now that's all well and good, so let's put in a container table. Because what you'll see is that if we don't want to center everything, when we start typing, if we were to align this over to the left, let me do that just for an example. Oops. That when we type, our stuff hangs off the side of the web page, and that is definitely something we don't want to do. So let me get rid of that, put this back to center. We don't necessarily want to have to center everything on this page. So what we're going to do is come up here to Insert, and insert a table. Just going to make it one row by one column. And even though my width is not 600 pixels, 600 pixels is a nice safe start. So let's go with that, zero out everything else, and click OK. And you'll see now I've got a table in here that will be invisible when we publish this out, but will allow me, by dragging, there we go, to change the properties on the table. You can also do this down here, which is probably faster if you know the exact number you want. So I'm going to go with 950 for now. Let's change that. Let's go all the way up to 980. We don't want to go over 1,000 because 1,000 is where we drew these lines in. So we have to do a little bit of math. How much of a space do we want between the edge of our website and where our text is? So this leaves a little 10 pixel border on each side of the table. Now we click in here, and you see that even with our text aligned over to the left, we have a nice amount of space between those two lines. So let's save our template. And it gives you a warning right here. We're going to click OK for now, but it's nice that it does this because we're going to come back and fix this up momentarily. And then we definitely want to update all of our files. Then we click Close, and when we come over here, Save All, that'll erase the asterisks next to all the names, and we see that now we have a table in here. But we still can't type in it. That's because we have to convert this to an editable region. So go back to the main template, and this is what that warning was about before, that we didn't have any editable regions in here. So let's type in content right here, and let's change the vertical alignment to the top. Now we're going to highlight the word content, go to Insert, Template Objects, and Editable Region. And just for clarity, I'm going to call this content as well. This means that if you make any changes later on and you have to shuffle stuff around between editable regions, you'll know which one you're going into rather than working with region 1, region 2, region 3, etc. So, content. And you should see here now a little blue box around it with a little blue tag that says content on it. When we save this now and update, you'll notice it doesn't pop up that warning anymore. We now have editable regions. It goes through, makes changes to all our pages. Let's do a save all. And now you can hop in here. You'll see it says content. The changes we made to the template are reflected on all the pages of the site. But now when we click in here, we can change this to homepage content. And when we save that, when we click over to page 2, you'll see the changes are not over there. So then let's go to page 2 content, and so on and so forth down the line. Now, one other thing that we're going to want to do right now, we'll see here that our title is graphicalayout.gif, and that's the title for all of these. We don't necessarily want that to be displayed in the browser as the name for our page. So I'm going to rename mine to my homepage and hit enter, and you'll see again the asterisk shows back up. It means I have unsaved changes. So if I don't save, this disappears when I close this out. So I'm going to save it up, and this way when we display this in a browser, you'll see homepage content here, and the title up here is now my homepage. So those are our editable regions. Next up, we'll be adding in our button functionality, and I will see you then. Have a good day.